This is Jabari Walker, and you're listening to The Briefcase with Casey Holdall.
Greetings, Blizzard fans, and welcome to The Briefcase. Episode 99 of The Briefcase. Wow, 99. One more to go until this thing hits the century mark. I am your host, Casey Holdall, and the 2024 NBA Draft is just days away. Your Portland Trailblazers seem like they have wrapped up their workouts, at least their public workouts, a few days prior to Wednesday's draft, at least the first round, which is on Wednesday, second round on Thursday this year. We'll take a quick look at that last workout, hear from two of the players that participated in Portland's last workout, do a quick overview of the players that the Trailblazers did work out. We'll have a larger draft edition of the show next week, and we'll briefly discuss the NBA Finals, which are now over. So long to the 2023-24 NBA season, and the first big trade of the offseason on this edition of The Briefcase. Well, as mentioned, the Trailblazers held their final pre-draft workout, or what I believe will be their final pre-draft workout, on Thursday. Very possible they still do maybe a private workout here or two before Wednesday's draft, but my assumption at this point is that they're pretty much wrapped up with the pre-draft workout process and are now working through their data, their intel to figure out what they're going to do with the 7th, 14th, 34th, and 40th picks at the 2024 NBA Draft. That workout on Thursday featured Youngzi Q, Quinn Ellis, Tristan Enaruna, Oso Ighodaro, Naquan Tomlin, and Bryson Ware. All of those players expect to be taken either late in the second round or going undrafted. For the most part, a lot of the Blazers' recent workouts have more been with first-round guys, or at least there's been first-round guys peppered into those workouts, so you assume that those are probably the guys they've been looking at the 7th and the 14th, or anywhere in the first round if an opportunity for trades comes up. There's already been some discussion out there, some rumor-mongering about maybe the Blazers are looking to move up, maybe they'll move down. Actually, just in general, the notion of trades being a real possibility, particularly in this draft, I think is very much a possibility. In fact, probably more so than in other drafts. So it makes sense to be prepared for whatever happens anywhere in the first round, should the opportunity arise to execute a deal that gets you another pick or changes where you're going to be picking at. So for the last, I would say, week and a half, 2 weeks, it's mostly been those first round guys, either in public workouts or in private workouts, specifically the private workout that they reportedly had last week. So after getting in quite a few players in that range, that 7 to 14 range, looked like Thursday's workout was more maybe a second round workout, so maybe the guy is at 34 or 40th, or there's also a very good possibility their guys are interested in for Summer League or for the remix. One of the things about these workouts as well is it offers a great opportunity for the guys with the remix who are always in the gym for those workouts to get a look at some of these guys and consider, hey, maybe this guy isn't going to get drafted necessarily, but maybe this is someone to be good on the remix. So just having that G League team now gives you more to look at in those workouts, which I think also helps you get some guys into your workouts. Now, granted, guys who are looking at the G League are probably not guys that are always going to be hard to get in for workouts, unless you're the son of one of the greatest players to ever play, I guess. But still, it's nice to be able to get those guys in the gym, see what they can do, and start to think, hey, is this someone that maybe might be interested in keeping around for summer? Is this someone we might be interested in keeping around with the remix, even if they're not guys who are necessarily going to take in the upcoming draft? Either way, the pre-draft workout process is just a great opportunity to actually get some intel on players, get your eyes on some of these guys, so that way you have a book on them at some point in time if you need to add a player to your roster, either the remix or the Trailblazers, or if you need guys on 2 ways, if you need guys on 10 days, it's a good chance to at least have some kind of basis of who these guys are when they've been in your gym. So while obviously the main point of the pre-draft workout process is to figure out what you're going to do in the upcoming draft, it also provides you an opportunity to, again, build a book on players going forward. So if and when those opportunities do arise where you need to actually have some consideration about who some of these players are, who might fit well for you, you can go back and look at some of those things. It's a helpful process. Well, let's go ahead and hear now from one of the players that participated in Portland's last workout, Oso Ighodaro, a 6'9", 21-year-old power forward center out of Marquette, ranked 58th in ESPN's Top 100. Ighodaro, kind of an interesting prospect, a guy, a connector at the center position, averaged 13.4 points on 57% shooting from the field, 62% shooting from the free throw line, 5.9 rebounds, 2.9 assists, 1.3 blocks, and 1.1 steals in his senior season at Marquette, 36 games, 36 starts. He started every game he's played for the last 2 seasons. Not a three-point shooter. Took, I believe, 1 3-point shot his entire time at Marquette. For a guy at 6'9", usually they'd like to see some 3-point shooting. That's not really his wave, but a guy who gets things done in other parts of the game. So let's go ahead and hear from Oso Ighodaro after his workout with the Trailblazers on Thursday. So how'd the workout go for you today?
It was good. Got up and down, competed a little bit, got some shots up. It's good to be out here.
What are maybe some of the things you're trying to show in these workouts?
I think just my versatility on offense and defense, my ability to switch and guard the perimeter, my ball handling and passing, just my IQ for the game.
Is this your last workout?
I got 2 more, yeah.
Coming down to the nitty-gritty, just what is it like knowing that you've got a few more days until this all comes to fruition?
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm just trying to stay in the moment, take it one day at a time, and finish this last workout strong. So,
what does it look like for you finishing the workout strong?
Just competing. Like I said, I have 2 more workouts. I just want to go out there, compete, be my best, and build some momentum going into the draft.
What have teams told you throughout the process about what they like from you and then what they want to see you get better at?
I think my versatility, like I said before, is probably the number one thing. My ability to switch as a big on the guards and move my feet. And then on offense, just being a connector, being able to play with anybody, creating shots for other guys, and then just want to continue improving my shooting. That way I can be more versatile on the offensive end. That's definitely a big focus for me.
Have you thought about kind of what your fit would be like with Portland? You know, they're kind of maybe possibly looking for some guys your size.
Yeah, young team, and I don't think their bigs are very different than I am. So I think I'd be a good fit, but obviously that's not my decision. But I think it'd definitely be a good fit.
What would be your differences, would you say?
I think just my versatility on offense with the ball, being that connector, of being like a playmaking hub from the big spot, I think is unique. And they have good guards, good young guards. So I think that being able to play whatever coverages they're being blitzed or hedged, and me being able to make out of the short roll with all the athletes on the floor would be good.
How would you describe yourself as a defender at this point in your career?
I think that's probably the biggest thing I take pride in. My ability to switch and move my feet, and my IQ defensively, being a quarterback on the floor, talking to my teammates, is one of my biggest strengths for sure.
And big men now too, it seems like you have to be able to defend in a lot of different ways. Like you can't just kind of post up in the paint anymore.
For sure, yeah. If you watch the finals, you see all the Al Horford out there switching, moving his feet. That's someone that I've been watching a lot, just his IQ for the game. And I think to win in the playoffs, you have to be able to switch. And that's something that I'm good at, so I'm trying to show that in these workouts.
So there you go, Oso Ighodaro talking about his workout with the Portland Trail Blazers. And I thought that was interesting too. They've had a lot of big men come through during the draft process. It feels like guards and centers are the 2 positions that they've had the most players come through. And every single center now talks about versatility. It's one of those positions now where it's like guys know I just can't be a guy who hangs out in the post anymore. Like I have to do other things. So a guy like Ighodaro, a guy who is able to create opportunities for other players. Again, not so much of a stretch guy like a Kyle Filipowski, but a guy who can create for others in the high post, can handle the ball a little bit as well, can switch onto multiple positions. It's just one of those things now where it's like if you're a big, you have to come in, particularly for these workouts, and show so many different things. A lot of the other guys, it's like, you're a guard, you show you can shoot the 3, you show you can fend a little bit, you're probably going to be okay. If you're a big in 2024 trying to get into the NBA, you got to show that you can guard, both in a drop and on the perimeter. You got to show that you can rebound. You got to show you can defend. And for some of these guys, you got to show you can hit the outside shot a little bit. And if you're not great at that, you probably got to show you can handle the ball a little bit. Well, now let's go ahead from Naquan Tomlin, a forward out of Memphis who also participated in the workout. Tomlin, a 6'8", 200-pound forward, who probably projects to be a forward center in the NBA, averaged 14 points on 60% shooting from the field, 39% shooting from 3, and 77% shooting from the free throw line, while also grabbing 6 rebounds, blocking 1.1 shots, and getting nearly 1 steal per game. That's some serious two-way inside-outside game for Tomlin. Not a volume three-point shooter, but at 2.5 three-pointers per game at nearly 40% shooting, that's a pretty good look, particularly when he's shooting 60% overall. That's a guy who's basically getting his shots at the rim or from the three-point line. He is 23 years old, so a bit older, particularly for a guy who's only played 2 college seasons, and he's the 72nd ranked player by ESPN in their top 100. Another interesting prospect, a guy who, again, probably second round to undrafted, but has some tools that a lot of NBA teams need, particularly he's big, he can rebound, and he can shoot. So let's go ahead and hear what Naquan Tomlin, power forward center from Memphis, had to say about his workout with the Trailblazers on Thursday.
How'd the workout go today?
The workout went good. Yeah, it went well. Good group of guys. We competed, had fun.
What are some of the skills that make some of the things you're trying to show teams in this process? Really, so far, so close to the draft as well.
I think just my ability to show my versatility, my ability to shoot, handle, make plays, make right reads, my athleticism.
Naquan, how much about this is about trying to find the right fit for you as much as the teams are trying to find the right fit for them as you go through so many different workouts?
I think that's very important. Just guys coming to the league, their first year, they try to do the best thing as possible to get on the court. And so, I just, whichever is the right fit, playing for a coach that wants to see me grow, learning from the vets, the veterans, guys like that, yeah.
What are the kind of things you're trying to highlight in this workout to show as far as the things that you can do to get on the court early enough?
Just playing defense and my ability to play off the bounce. Yes, sir.
How many of these things have you done so far?
This is my 14th workout.
Yeah, is this the last one? Do you have more?
It was supposed to be the last one, but I have Golden State in a couple days coming up.
And what are, from doing so many of these workouts, what kind of feedback have you gotten from teams about what they like from you and then also what they want to see you get better at?
Just my energy, playing with energy, defending, rebounding, things like that.
How does it feel knowing that this process is about to come to an end and you're kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty of this now?
I'm ready. Hey, I'm ready. These flights, crazy. I'm ready. I'm done. Yeah. But I enjoy it, though. Yeah.
Your agents are like, one more. You're like, okay, one more.
Yeah. That was definitely my reaction.
So there you go, Naquan Tomlin out of Memphis after his workout with the Portland Trail Blazers. That's another thing, too, it's always worth mentioning about the workout process, particularly guys like Tomlin, guys like Ighodaro. They have to work out for so many teams that at the end of this process, I don't know exactly what you're getting out of the guys, or at least I don't know if you're getting a good representation of the kind of player they are, since they've worked out so many times. Tristan Inaruna, who also was in that workout, supposedly had the most workouts of anyone in this draft class. I think I saw that Hoops Hype had him at 16 different workouts. When you're getting on a plane, going to workouts, getting on a plane, going to a different workout, by 16, I imagine you're pretty fried at that point. Heck, I imagine by 10, you're probably pretty used up. So I think it's really more about, again, maybe kind of figuring out who some of these guys are personally at this point in the process and less about how can they play. Though one of the things you always do put players through during workouts is really trying to get them as tired as you possibly can and then having them shoot to see, are you able to continue to perform when you're tired? So maybe that's what they're seeing at this point in the process too, is these guys, particularly guys that are second round, maybe undrafted, maybe summer league guys, maybe two-way guys. Are you guys able to get through this process and still give us something when you're tired and beaten and broken and just want to go home? Maybe they're trying to figure out something in that regard as well. And well, now that seems like they're wrapped up with workouts, let's go ahead and just do a quick recap. The Blazers held 7 public workouts with 37 players. They also held multiple private workouts, which the reporting would indicate were some of their best workouts in the first round. I know they also had at least a couple private solo workouts as well. Of their public workouts, I count roughly 8 players who seem likely to go in the first round. However, only Dalton Connect is the only player who came through Portland for a public workout who seems likely to go in the top 10. As for 14, though, Jared McCain, Khalil Ware, Kyle Filipowski, Tristan Da Silva, and Cam Christie all seem like conceivable options in terms of players who had public workouts for the Trailblazers who could realistically go at the 14th pick. And obviously, once you get to the second round, tons of options at 34 and 40. The entire second round seems like it'll pretty much come down to what individual teams value, because I doubt there's going to be a whole lot of agreement about talent after the first 15 to 20 picks. You could probably even drop that down even further, but to me it seems like 15, 20, probably some rotating group of players who are listed in 30 teams big boards. I think after that, though, it really becomes a crapshoot. And this is your reminder to check out the Trailblazers Draft Party presented by Ticketmaster, which will be on June 26th at 5 p.m. at Moda Center. It's a free event. Get your tickets at trailblazers.com/draft. I'm sure there'll be some refreshments, prizes, things of interest. I'll be in Tualatin, so I won't be able to join you. But if I wasn't going to be in Tualatin, I'd be at the Draft Party at Moda Center, June 26th, 5 p.m., presented by Ticketmaster. Check it out. Well, really quick in non-NBA draft news, the Boston Celtics beating the Dallas Mavericks in 5 games, as you surely know. Our last episode, I only got posted right before Game 5. I said I thought the Celtics were going to close it out by winning by 20. I believe they won by 18. You can see that one coming from a mile away. Mavericks avoid the gentleman's sweep by getting Game 4 in Dallas, but going back to Boston, there's only one way that typically goes. You end up losing, and you end up losing big. So that puts a cap on the 2023-24 season. Bit of a bummer for the NBA playoffs this year. I thought it was a great start. Conference finals and the NBA finals. definitely did not reach the excitement of the first 2 rounds. Not exactly uncommon, but it'd be nice if we could just get a good finals every now and then. The thing I didn't like about this finals too, there wasn't one good game the entire time. Blowouts happen, it's going to happen from time to time, but the fact that every single one of those games seemed pretty much decided by the end of the first half, not exactly what I was hoping for out of that NBA Finals, particularly when it started so well. But so it goes. Congratulations to the Celtics. Congratulations to the Mavericks as well, I suppose. But it does seem like next year is also going to be wide open again. And in my personal opinion, that's a great thing for the NBA, particularly as we're getting into this new generation. A lot of the guys who have been running the league for the last decade, last 15 years, starting to step back. Some of these new guys coming up, taking those spots. League's in a good place. And speaking of one of those teams as well, last bit of news for today, the Thunder and the Bulls executing the first big trade of the offseason. The Bulls sending Alex Caruso, back-to-back all-defensive team player, to Oklahoma City in exchange for Josh Giddey. So the Bulls get a young player who they feel like can be a part of their team going forward, who maybe didn't play as well as people thought he was going to after his rookie season in Oklahoma City. And it balances the Thunder roster a little bit, considering you have SGA, who's a ball-dominant guard. You have Giddey, also ball-dominant guard. 2 of those guys can play together a bit, but Giddey can't shoot. So pretty tough to have both those guys on the court at the same time. They end up swapping him out for Alex Caruso, a guy that gives them elite perimeter defense, to go with a guy in Lou Dort, already elite perimeter defender as well, along with Jalen Williams. And Chet Holmgren, also a guy who has elite defensive possibilities as well. So they're really putting together something in Oklahoma City. That's a good trade. Hopefully it's a sign of an exciting, trade-filled offseason. I think the NBA could use that, particularly after the finals. And that will do it for this edition of The Briefcase. Thank you so much for joining me, as always. Back next week with episode 100, our final edition before the draft on Wednesday. Please like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, both to The Briefcase, The Blazers Balcony, and to Section 113. Go to trailblazers.com/podcast to subscribe. I'm Casey Holdall. I'll talk to you next week. Go Blazers.